A homemade apple cider vinegar drink, born from a Dallas kitchen remedy, walked onto the Shark Tank stage, 9 months pregnant and carrying a valuation of $4 million. Most of the sharks hesitated, but one saw something bigger. Within years, that overlooked pitch would help spark a soda upstart reportedly worth nearly $2 billion. Why did so many investors miss it? And what really happened in that make-or-break TV moment? Allison Ellsworth stood in her Dallas kitchen, searching for relief from stubborn digestive issues and fatigue that would not go away. Doctors had their theories, but nothing stuck. She turned to apple cider vinegar, hoping for a natural remedy, but the sharp, sour taste made every sip a struggle. Refusing to give up, she began tinkering, mixing apple cider vinegar with fresh fruit juices and sparkling water, chasing a drink that felt more like a treat than a chore. Her kitchen notebook filled with ratios and flavor ideas, pineapple with turmeric, raspberry with lime, a splash of ginger here, a handful of berries there. Each batch was a new experiment, aiming for something light, fizzy, and just sweet enough. Once she landed on a recipe that tasted good, she poured it into glass bottles and offered it at Dallas farmers markets under the name Mother Beverage, a nod to the mother culture floating in raw apple cider vinegar. Early customers were curious, some skeptical, but many kept coming back for more. The drink was low in sugar, only about 15 to 20 calories a bottle, and promised a healthier alternative to soda. Word spread quickly. A buyer from Whole Foods tasted it and saw potential, offering Allison a shot at retail shelves. That moment turned a kitchen remedy into a real business. But scaling up would take more than home carbonation and handwritten labels. The next step would demand capital, partners, and a leap far beyond the farmer's market. Studio lights glare as Allison and Stephen Ellsworth step onto the Shark Tank carpet, gripping a tray of glass bottles. The set is colder than they expect, and the silence is broken only by the low hum of cameras and the faint shuffle of the sharks settling in. Allison, 9 months pregnant, stands steady in front of the panel. The moment is real. No edits, no do-overs. Season 10, Episode 5 is underway, and across from them sit 5 investors: Mark Cuban, Barbara Corcoran, Kevin O'Leary, Lori Greiner, and Rohan Oza, the guest shark known for turning beverages into household names. Every eye tracks the bottles. Labels still read Mother Beverage as the founders brace for the first question. This is not a farmer's market anymore. The studio is a pressure cooker, and the sharks' faces give nothing away. Rohan Oza, with his reputation for building brands like Vitamin Water, leans forward and scans the product, while the others remain unreadable. The tension in the air is as sharp as the taste Allison once tried to mask in her kitchen. The pitch is about to begin. For a few seconds, time hangs. The founders know that one wrong answer, one flicker of doubt, and the dream could stall right here. The room is waiting for a reason to believe or a reason to pass. The next words will carry Mother Beverage from a Dallas kitchen to the national stage, or send it home with nothing but empty bottles. Allison steps forward, holding a bottle in each hand. The sharks are handed tiny plastic cups. Before they get the real product, Allison pours a straight shot of apple cider vinegar. The smell alone draws a grimace from Mark Cuban. Kevin O'Leary tosses his head back and swallows. His face twists. A chorus of coughs and sharp remarks follows. The point is made. This is what healthy is supposed to taste like, and nobody wants it. Then a second round. The founders pour their actual drink, Mother Beverage, into fresh cups. Raspberry rose, pineapple turmeric. The sharks brace themselves, and the surprise is immediate. Rohan Oza lifts his eyebrows. Lori Greiner takes another sip. Mark Cuban nods. The taste is light, fruity, almost playful. The vinegar burn is gone. Allison explains the formula: apple cider vinegar, fruit juice, sparkling water, and a hint of stevia. 15 to 20 calories per bottle, low sugar, and still the health benefits of apple cider vinegar. Attention shifts to the numbers. Allison and Stephen ask for $400,000 in exchange for 10% of their company, implying a $4 million valuation. Kevin O'Leary wants to know how they got there. Stephen lays it out, about $500,000 in sales over 18 months with a target to hit $1 million by the end of the year. Each bottle sells for $2.99 at retail, and it costs 75 cents to make. That leaves a healthy margin, nearly $2.25 per unit before marketing and distribution. The Sharks press for more. How fast are sales growing? What is the reorder rate? Allison points to the Whole Foods account and strong repeat customers at farmers markets. But the math is front and center. The company is still small, but the margins are strong. The ask, $400,000 for 10%, implies a leap of faith. The room shifts from flavor surprise to financial interrogation. The taste wins a few smiles, but the numbers draw a line in the sand. Now the scrutiny begins. Questions fly across the tank. Mark Cuban leans in, eyebrows raised, and presses on the plan to build a bottling plant. For a small brand with just $500,000 in sales, pouring precious capital into manufacturing sounds reckless. Kevin O'Leary runs the math out loud. Every dollar tied up in equipment is a dollar not spent on marketing, distribution, or shelf fees. Lori Greiner voices the next worry. Nothing about the recipe is protected. Apple cider vinegar, fruit juice, sparkling water, anyone can mix those. Without a patent or secret process, what keeps a giant from copying the idea? What keeps copycats at bay? The panel sees a crowded category, thin margins, and a product that could be outflanked by the next big trend. One by one, the Sharks pull back. Barbara Corcoran says she is out, not willing to risk her money on a business that could get squeezed by bigger players or sunk by manufacturing headaches. Mark Cuban passes, unconvinced the brand can break through the noise. Kevin O'Leary shakes his head at the valuation and the lack of defensibility. Lori Greiner, always on the lookout for a retail hero, does not see enough insulation from competition. The silence that follows is thick. The founders glance at each other, the dream of a deal slipping away. Then, Rohan Oza breaks the standoff. He does not care about proprietary formulas. He cares about brand, shelf presence, and the story. He offers $400,000, but for 25% equity, not the 10% the founders wanted. The implied valuation drops from $4 million to $1.6 million. It is a tough cut, but it comes with a partner who knows how to build beverage empires. Allison and Stephen do not hesitate. They accept the deal on the spot, trading a chunk of their company for a shot at national scale. The handshake lands, and the tank's tension finally breaks. The rest of the Sharks watch as a single bet is placed: brand and execution over patents and plants. Poppi's leap from kitchen counter to cultural force began with a single decision. They left Mother Beverage behind and launched a brand built for the soda aisle. Early 2020 brought the new name, a punchy four-letter word meant to stand out on shelves and on screens. Gone were the glass bottles. Poppi arrived in bright matte cans with oversized fruit graphics and playful colors. The drink's identity shifted from a niche health tonic to a modern prebiotic soda, easy to grab at Target or Whole Foods. Distribution exploded, moving from a few thousand stores to more than 20,000 stores across the country in just a few years. But it was not just retail muscle. Poppi's rise was fueled by TikTok, where influencer shout-outs and viral taste tests sent sales surging and pushed the brand to the top of Amazon's soda charts. Poppi was not just on shelves. It was everywhere people talked about what to drink next. By 2024, Poppi's growth had drawn the attention of major industry players. Reports placed the company valuation near $1.95 billion after a strategic investment round that involved PepsiCo's venture arm. But with a billion-dollar spotlight came new scrutiny. That same year, a class action lawsuit landed in California federal court, challenging Poppi's claims about gut health. The complaint argued that with only 2 grams of prebiotic fiber per can, the drink's benefits were overstated. Consumers would need to drink 4 or more cans a day to see meaningful effects, which raised questions about sugar intake and label accuracy. Facing mounting legal pressure, Poppi agreed to an $8.9 million settlement path and began softening its packaging language, shifting from bold promises to more cautious, ingredient-focused messaging. The stakes had changed. Now both regulators and consumers were watching every word. Poppi's billion-dollar rise proves the power of timing and brand over formula. Today, every soda aisle is a battleground for what healthy really means, and regulators now watch every claim. In a crowded market, one bold risk can rewrite the rules overnight. What rules will the next challenger break?